Hello guys, and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part, and welcome to today's video. We are spring decorating today. I'm so excited. I love my decorating videos, whether we're working on a space like a room makeover or if it's just a new season and we're freshening up. I just love changing my house and trying new things, and I feel like when new seasons come, it's just a really good time to do it. So the first place we're going to start is right here in my entryway.
1, 2, 3, let's get it!
The first way I styled this was with a plaid pillow, and I know it looks calming and neutral, but to me it was just too much. So this front pillow, I loved the texture, but I went ahead and threw in my original just solid pillow in there, and I just felt better for me and felt right. I will say spring is the time we start pulling out all those fur items, but I've just loved the setup of this. We're still having a few chilly days here in Oklahoma, so I'm not ready to let it go yet. But now we're gonna head on into my living room area, and I'm gonna be pulling out all my winter greenery. So this is greenery you saw me decorate with for Christmas. It is time for it to go. I'm excited to grab my spring florals and just bring some life to this space.
Let's get it started. Are you ready? Here we go.
Anytime I'm working with florals, if I don't have to cut the stem, I don't. I just bend it. Now, if you need to cut it because it's just way too tall and they're getting too tangled at the bottom, you can. But I like to know that if I want to put this in a tall vase later, that's still an option. So that's just one hack to help you out. Another tip is if you're using faux florals or faux greenery, especially if it's been shipped to you in a box, make sure you fluff that up, open those flowers. It's just gonna make it look a lot more realistic. Now it's time to add some pillows to my sectional. I was a little bit nervous because I've loved the just monochromatic pillows on my sectional, and it's just been so clean, especially after Christmas. I feel like you just want things simple and not bold, and these are a little hint of green in them. They also have a pattern, but I felt like it was the perfect mix for me. So you can tell there's a pattern to them. You can tell in person, I don't know if you can tell on camera, there is a slight green to them, but it's still done in a calming way that I feel like I can handle.
You could go back in time to never test my limits. Nothing you say will fix it. I'm too out of my mind.
Now another option is to add a bold color behind it. So I picked up these green pillows that would pull out the green in the front pillow. So it looks really good, but I go with more the neutral vibe, but I wanted to show you the difference right here. I am gonna use the green pillows later on in the video, but just not right here in my living room. So stay tuned if you wanna see where those end up. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a good time to switch out your fur blankets or fur pillows. I haven't found a good option for the entryway yet, but I did in here for our living room. And you can still have those blankets out. They still make your home feel inviting and cozy, but maybe just less thick, where they just go on you when the AC's on and you're a little chilly, but you don't want to get too hot. I just feel like finding a good knit blanket that still has some weight to it. It still looks high end, but it's just not fur, is a good way to balance it out if you're used to decorating with a blanket somewhere in some space. Once again, I'm removing the winter greenery and adding spring, but this stem was just too long. I even tried to cut it myself, which you're gonna see next, but I couldn't. So I had to bring in backup, and Chase took it out to the building so he could saw it off. But while I'm waiting on him to do that, I do want to thank Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video. Brooklinen is a luxurious sheet company creating high quality home goods to elevate your home, and do they ever. You guys can see how the packaging is right here. This would make a great gift if you're needing to send someone the gift of luxury. This would be a really good wedding gift or something like that. Once you have nice sheets, you just can't go back, and I felt like I was spending so much money money on cheap sheets because I kept having to replace them like every couple months, that it was getting so pricey that I finally invested in nice, high quality luxury sheets, and they last you forever. They last through washes. They're beautiful. You will sleep better. Your guests will sleep better. And you spend 1/3 of your life in sheets. So make sure you get some that are going to last. They're going to upgrade your sleeping. And Brooklinen sheets are tried and true. There are 100,000 5-star reviews. Like, so when I say I love them, it's not just me. Everyone that tries these are loving these sheets. Brooklinen also released like new seasonal colors. So if you like colors and patterns, you're gonna find a style that's right for you too. And they do say they sell out fast. So if you see something you love up here on the screen, I'm kind of showing you what they have out right now. Definitely act quickly so you don't miss out on them. Keep in mind, instead of buying like individual items, you can save up to 20% just by purchasing the hardcore bundle, which includes like the core sheet set, extra pillowcases, and the duvet cover. So that's definitely the way to go. Or you can choose to mix and match like 20+ colors and patterns to fit your style. So maybe you don't like matchy, you can coordinate it however you want to. But if you're like, hey, I want to get these and save some money, definitely just buy the bundle. They are having a Sleep Week sale with all items 20% off through March 20th. So if you're relying on Brooklinen for all your sleep needs like I do, I recommend getting that hardcore bundle because that'll save you up to 40% off since it'll stack with the bundle savings with the discount. So I'm gonna leave their link down below along with my promo code. So if you're buying after March 20th, you can use the code AshleyN to get $20 off your purchase of $100 or more. And I do wanna thank Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video. Okay, now we're gonna kind of switch gears. I'm waiting for the sheets to get done washing and drying before I can put them on, so I'll show you a little bit later in today's video how it all turns out. The ones that were on my bed though were already Brooklinen, just so you know. I love having 2 sets for each bedroom, just so when I'm switching my sheets or guests are over or Savannah, I can just immediately put clean ones on when I take them off. So that's what I'm doing there. But now Chase was able to cut this like big stem down. It had like 5 rods in it, so it was not gonna let me cut through it. So I was glad he was able to. And I feel like it looks perfect in this bathroom because there's not a lot in here. It's white, it's simple. There's no like wall cabinet. So I feel like it just really fills up the space. Since I ended up using that big old twig, I call it a twig, I feel like it's a branch. Since I ended up using that branch in our powder bathroom, I'm gonna do something a little bit different here in our dining room than I was expecting. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all these stems separated so I can start arranging them in the vase.
I don't play it. If you buy it, I'ma break it.
Better play nice.
Nah, I'm alright. Under the pressure, winning and pleasure, we go together. Fame and desire taking me higher, light as a feather. Get on my level.
I'm really into like weeping stems right now. Like I love when they kind of like droop over, kind of like a weeping willow tree. So I feel like I'm gravitating towards that when I'm buying stuff. I just feel like it just looks so like romantic and airy. I don't know what it is. Like sometimes I like things like straight up and full, but I'm really loving like the overflowing of stems right now.
You're calling, I'm falling. Don't know what it is you do to me, yeah. Where you go, I follow. Let's go out and dance the night away. Going like 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was loving how this turned out, but it did seem like super bright in here. I felt like there was a lot of brightness, but not a lot of like black or color. And so I wanted to ground it a little bit. So I grabbed those green pillows that I ended up not using on my sectional and threw them right here at the captain's chairs, which I felt like made those dress up a little more. Now, obviously, if someone's sitting there and they're not going to use those, but right now we don't have a lot of company over. When we do, we're like eating at the bar or like outside or in the living room. So we can always toss them if we need to, but I feel like when you just come in, it looks really cool. It looks really grand, and I love the dark color in there. By this time, my sheets were done in the dryer, so I went ahead and grabbed them out, and I'm gonna finish decorating this space. This space was really white like the rest of my house, so I thought since I'm adding some greens to the other spaces, maybe I should add some greens in here for my company, which is basically my sister and brother-in-law or Savannah's friends. But it really is cool when you add green into your spaces, how much life it brings, even if it's not living, like even if it's not a real plant. Just adding moss to your trees or green pillows, it's just such an easy way to add life and color into a space without it being overbearing if you're like me and you thrive in neutrals.
3, 4, looking at you when you're on the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, ready for that hot break. Yeah, ooh baby, I am ready for that hot break. Yeah, yeah, ooh baby, I am ready for that heartbreak.
Once again, I couldn't handle the green pillows, so I'm switching it out, but we are keeping the plaid this time. Since this is in our guest bedroom, I feel like you can get away with a little more than you can like the entryway that you see every day, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. But now I'm going to start putting the sheets on the bed so you guys can see all of this come together. I have a few more decor pieces, and then I'll show you how the room turns out. I will say, if you guys see me make my bed versus my guest bedroom bed, so in our bedroom, we don't use the top sheet. It's just so much easier to make the bed. We got used to living without it, and it's so nice. But in our guest bedroom, we still have it. I think guests would think we were crazy if we didn't, and so we go ahead and use it in this space.
Ready for that heartbreak?
If you have not switched to a duvet cover yet, here is your sign to do it. I feel like washing your comforter is so hard. I even have a really large, like oversized washer and dryer, and my comforters fit, but they still take so long to dry. And even after I put them in like 3 cycles of the dryer, I still have to lay it underneath the fan to like get where it's like cramped in there, versus having a duvet cover that you just throw in like a sheet. You can wash it with your sheets, you can dry it with your sheets, so it's just like one quick load. It dries really well. Then you can clean it more often. You don't have to take it to like the laundromat or have it dry cleaned. I feel like it is so convenient. Like, yes, you have to put it on and off, but you don't have to wash it every time, kind of like you wouldn't wash a comforter. But when you need to, it is so easy. The other thing that I love about Brooke linen pillowcases is that it has this like tab or flap in it that it covers the pillow. So no matter which way you put your pillow on your bed, you can't see the pillow or the tag. So I feel like that's just a very high-end touch. You can see right here in the sunlight just how beautiful that bedding is and the sheets. Another point I want to make towards having a duvet cover is when you have company staying, it's just nice that you can clean it and they're not using the same like comforter. So like even if like Savvy has friends in here and then my sister comes or we have other family or friends come, it's just nice that everything can get clean and nothing's having to be reused.
Looks like you're changing and all. But why didn't you?
There's something about springtime, I feel like it's just the time to invest in sheets. I don't know if it's just because we're freshening up everything and getting everything clean. It just always sets the tone in a space and it just feels right. But here is how the room turned out. I love it with the pop of green. Check back with me in 2 weeks or a month and see if it's still in there. But as of today, I'm loving it. I was talking earlier how I love like weeping stems, and I just felt like something was off with this black vase in here. Like, I love those flowers and I ended up moving them to another location, but in this particular spot it just didn't feel right, and so I'm gonna do a little bit of stem itch to switching and make sure everything's where it's supposed to be and just looks best. I know some of you are curious or taking bets how long this green phase is gonna last. I will say it's subtle, so I think it'll last a little bit, but if you wanna know, I am gonna be doing like a spring home tour at the end of the month, so if you wanna see if it even makes it to that, because I don't even know if it will. I feel like sometimes I just wake up and start like yanking things down, but definitely be on the lookout for that spring home tour video. And if you're new here, definitely hit that red subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and it'll alert you anytime I post. So if you wanna be on the lookout for that video, definitely make sure you have that bell checked, and so it'll notify you when I post that. And you guys can place bets now. Is the green gonna be up or is it gonna be gone? So I thought this would be perfect right here in our mudroom area, but when I put it up, the flowers are prettier looking down at it and not looking up at it. Does that make sense? Like, all I could see was leaves, so I was like, okay, that's not it. I knew I had this greenery in my office, which is still very springy. It really didn't go with my winter theme, but I never switched it out. So I'm gonna move that greenery into the mudroom area, and I'm gonna put these beautiful flowers here in my office, which actually makes more sense because I love them, and now I can see them every day while I'm working and editing at my computer. Now I do want to mention you can decorate for spring without like bunnies and eggs and all of that. If you love it, go for it. That's not my style, so I'm kind of showing you the high-end spring decorating. It's more through textures and colors. However, right here in our mudroom bench area, I always go a little more festive. So I have carrots, I have bunnies, I kind of have all that, but it's just in this one little area so I don't get sick of it as easily. So keep that in mind. If you don't want it everywhere but you have kids, you can pick your mantle or a mudroom area or just a space like a playroom or something like that where it's just easier to like keep it condensed down, and then you can decorate however throughout the rest of the space. I do want to add some moss to all of my trees. I feel like it's making it feel alive. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to a few trees throughout the house. I was loving the texture so much of this greenery. I can't tell you what it is. It's kind of like my vases that have bubbles in them. Oh, kind of like what I'm working on right now on the coffee table. I don't know, I just really loved the texture, and it was a little bit of a lighter green versus the darker green that I had out for winter. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover up my dark green so that this kind of like stands up tall in the centerpiece. And then when winter comes around, if I want to take out all the like spring greenery, I have that underneath, so I could do that with all like my trees I just put it in, and this like bowl on my table. Right now I'm going to be putting it in my tree right here in my kitchen, so I just feel like if it's too much for winter, I can just take it off and then I have what I need underneath it.
I can see you want this too, 'cause you've been looking at me all night trying to figure me out. I just want to let you know, and I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I want to kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling.
Another thing I like to freshen up in the spring is our hand towels. I just feel like they can get so dirty and so used and so worn, and it's something that doesn't cost a lot, but it makes a big impact in like small bathrooms, and I feel like most bathrooms are pretty small. So just by freshening those up, it just helps make the space feel clean. If you have dirty hand towels, even if they've been cleaned but they're stained or ragged, they just don't look like it anymore. And I love using like kitchen hand towels that are a little more detailed versus bathroom hand towels. So you can see right there, the bathroom hand towel versus like a kitchen hand towel, they're just a little bit more elevated and make the space look nicer, and they're not that much more. So definitely check that out if you're decorating. But now let's look back and see everything we worked on today's video. You'll have to let me know your favorite space. Is it the mud room, the powder room? We did the dining room, we did the guest bedroom, and we did the living room. So let me know which space you like best. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video and hanging out with me. Like I said earlier in the very beginning of this video, I love my decorating videos, so I hope they inspire you and motivate you, and I hope you work on your home very soon. And I do want to thank Brooklinen again for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget, I'm going to have all the links and information down below in the description box, as well as that promo code. So don't forget to check that out. But I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
I'll see you next time, next time, next time. So I know I'll see you next time, next time.